Sweet client baby dolls, I'm going to ask you this question once. Are you wearing your fluffy slippers? Because sometimes the universe throws us out pieces of key information that can tell us that we're actually going to make it. This was posted by me at the very beginning of October. Investors or investees, depending if you're wearing your pants on or not, they dropped their class action lawsuit against Kwon. Now, Kwon was the Luna founder, and we all know what happened with Luna. Luna went kaput, straight to zero. And we all know why it went to zero. It's because the stablecoin, which was meant to back the whole ecosystem, was just an algorithmic stablecoin. And so they had to back it with the bid side liquidity from Luna, which is a speculative instrument, and it was not guaranteed. And when you try to move money from speculation to a stable coin, there introduces a lot of problems, as we saw with this. That's how it went kaput. So it makes you wonder, why did they drop the class action lawsuit? I think it's because they basically realized these people, yeah, they got big egos. Yeah, they have a lot of pride. Yeah, they didn't do everything correct, but it wasn't all coming from their bad heart. There was no real foul play. It was just them with big egos. They tried to do something big and different. That's what entrepreneurs do. They tried to take a lot of risks, and unfortunately, it didn't work. So here I am to explain. It seems like everyone has accepted reality, that they all just believe it would work, and nobody in the system thought it would fail the way it did. We continue. So remember, I showed you on here many times, Kwon was replying to a dude who made an expose on Luna around here. Luna was about $31, and the guy said, well, Luna can actually go to zero. And he outlined how it could. And look what happened first. Luna went up 235% over the space of 200 days, so 6 months. So everybody laughed at this person, but then I guess he had the last laugh, but no one's really laughing because it's such a horrific incident. So it's very hard to look at these and say, well, was it always going to work, or did something else crush it? That's why it's super important in this game, man. You got to be around stuff where you've bought in the depression and sold in the euphoria. You can't hold through euphoria. When it comes, you're going to have to be really honest with yourself. That's the only way to make it. Why? Because when the dagger comes, the dagger of doom, we know it's going to come. We just don't know, is it going to send your coin minus 100% down or 70% like Bitcoin or something in between? We don't know. We don't. And by the way, from when you exit, it can still keep going up. That's the most toughest thing to accept of all. So a lot of people will talk about fraud and all of these instances, but at the end of the day, we know what's up. What's up is there was a network effect. There were people in the community. They all thought it was going to hold value, and unfortunately, it didn't. That's why people come with their fangs out. They try to go after Terraform Labs just because it didn't work. But in this game, whether they have good intentions or not, sometimes an idea just can't work. Why? It's because you have to foster the community to stay. But in the Terra Luna case, what happened was betrayal. I made videos on this. So what was the ultimate thing that made it never be able to recover? Betrayal. People got betrayed. The price went down, and then this community said, I can't take it anymore. We're done. And it was because of the stablecoin. With everything else, you sign an agreement with yourself. You say, well, this thing can fluctuate heaps. It is what it is, even though we want it to go up. But when you're locking into a stablecoin and that goes to zero, now you're opening a whole nother can of worms. That was reserved for safety. And if you can't rely on that, then you can't rely on anything. What you can rely on is real DeFi. So that's why I have this PulseChain post here for you. This is an older picture. All the ecosystem, I know it's a bit blurry, the icons. Look at this, okay? Imagine there was a chain that did more daily volume than Solana, okay, which is what it does. Solana has the fake arbitrage trash volume that everybody does where they're just hedging with Binance and stuff. That's all garbage, okay? It needs a 12x rally to match Solana. So you're buying something at an enormous discount. Imagine this coin was new, 5, 6, 7 months old, not even one year. It's cycle 1, okay? This coin doesn't have VCs. It's a collection of people. This coin is real DeFi, and you're early, not even listed on all these exchanges, okay? This coin does exist. Her name is PulseChain, ticker PLS. Pulse, PulseX, and Hex are real DeFi, all part of the ecosystem. Isn't it beautiful to know that these things exist? And whether or not it fulfills its destiny the way we do, it doesn't really matter. In this game, you can't say to yourself, I didn't win because I didn't buy Doge, or I didn't win because I didn't buy SHIB. You have to say, okay, what information do I have and what did I select? Does it match? Have I done the right filtering? That's all you can do. Am I buying in the depression? And what information do I have now? So, for example, if you roll a dice and it lands on 1 3 times in a row, you had no idea it was going to do that. Okay? So, sometimes you just have to accept this is the reality of the situation. And there will be new coins that come out in 2024. That's probably going to blow everyone's minds again. So, let's just hope that we are in solid blue chips here that can at least carry the portfolio and see it through. And that's one of the reasons why I like ChainLINK. Now, this is Sergey and this is Vitaly pushing on Sergey's big belly. What's coming is inevitable. We know with ChainLINK they have CCIP. ChainLINK doesn't have real competition, doesn't have any competition. I've made many posts about it. I like sleeping at night knowing no one can come and eat ChainLINK's lunch. Vitalik has tried to FUD ChainLINK twice, okay? 2 times. He has tried to FUD Chain 2 times, friends. The first time, he said it was overvalued at 32 million market cap, and then it did a 400x from when he said it was too expensive. That was the first time. The second time was when he told Uni to go become an Oracle token, and they ignored him, and then they made Uniswap X, which they're making now, which is centralized off-chain trash. It's not really trash, but it's centralized, friends. It's off-chain. It's not really to the ethos of DeFi. So that's why it's fake DeFi. So this is what happens. They can't eat the lunch. I like this. I can sleep at night knowing, okay, no one's coming to eat our lunch. The bug eaters have chosen ChainLINK. And early in the month, I had this video clip out from Bankless. Shout out to Bankless. This is Ryan, by the way. Ryan has blocked me. That's okay. Friend of the channel. Now, when it comes to CCIP and ChainLINK, the technology is really good. It is like this top-tier, elite standard infrastructure that's building the foundation for everything in the future. Now, one day, ChainLINK's going to be boring and trash, but not yet. Not yet. So in this video, Sergey explains how CCIP will enable banks to flow trillions of dollars into crypto. That's right. CCIP is how they're going to buy our bags, because they use a 50-year-old system. ChainLINK has built CCIP network, so it talks to their system and it lets the banks transfer with each other and access public DeFi networks, and they can actually come and buy our bags. And here's the thing, they don't even need crypto, friends. They have trillions of dollars by themselves. If this wasn't being built, they would just play with themselves in the corner. Invite a friend. So the next big things, real world assets and securitization 2.0. So these banks all around the world, they can make tokens out of anything. They have so many assets on their books. They do swaps between each other. And with this tech, as the swaps go through, there's a lot of volume. And guess what? They're going to pay in a fee. That fee is going to be LINK. That's why I'm here to reiterate, our bags will be pumped. And the banks will mint their poo-poo fiat and flush crypto upwards. Okay, so this is a clip. I'm not going to go through all of it,
looks like
but
it's a
Sergey
successful
explains.
proof of concept in a pilot, right? Through Swift, a press release from Swift, which is a pretty big feat, I think. But what's it going to take for the banks to actually adopt crypto? Do you have a sense of that, Sergey?
Banks are driven by a very strong profit motive. Their ability to generate profit from making real-world asset tokens, stable coins, and selling them to various family offices, hedge funds, and large global asset manager clients.
So Sergey goes on to explain just about the incentives of banks. Obviously, they all love rotating around the money, but they need the technology. That's why the CCIP part is so important.
The underlying asset, you see? So banks will be driven by their profit motive to transact with each other and to transact with other asset managers about various real-world asset tokens, which they are very well equipped to create and which they are already creating. And I know because we work with many different banks creating them. These real-world asset tokens and stable coins will increase the amount of private key, public key holders that interact with crypto, and will increase the amount of value in public blockchain DeFi.
So, you know, he gives a very broad overview, but basically banks are just giant wallets. They have trillions of dollars. They're literally trillions of dollars. can easily come and flow into crypto. And that's what we're really building it for. Now, of course, remember, the scale that everybody needs to understand is the decentralization scale. You have decentralization and you have centralization on the right. Bitcoin, BTC, very far left. This TradFi is the very far right. It's completely centralized. So we have everything in between now. And the beautiful thing is CCIP helps connect to them. Okay, it doesn't mean CCIP is right in between in terms of decentralization. It's just helping them talk. Without them talking, we can't even get them to buy our bags because banks are not going to send $500 million to Coinbase and then start swapping on Uniswap and then buy our bags. They're not going to do that. They have their own chains. They have their own methods of doing things. So this is fantastic to know that the industry is being pushed forward this way. And a fun note to end on. Where do you think we are in the cycle right now? Look at this. I'll give it a shot. I'm smart. I'm a genius. I should have used leverage. That's actually what happened at the top. It's funny. That's what happens at the top, friends. People actually regret. They're like, damn, man, we just went up for a year. I should have used leverage. And then they get the confidence because they have 12 months behind them of going up. So then we do a linear forecast in the future of another good 12 months. So that's when the leverage starts at the top. And it's not in the very, very top, but it's towards the top, towards the top. That's what happens. Down at the bottom, what the heck? I made a big mistake. And then this is what we're all hoping for, this part. I am back to even, selling everything. I was hoping this happens in 2024, where everyone's back to break even, they start selling, and then it's done it, and then I'm an idiot, and we get the rocket ship. Well, where do you think we are right now? Make sure to confirm our friendship in the comment section. Don't forget, friends, you're going to like, subscribe, belly button, all. I'm going to catch you in the next one.